What up, fam? Today we have a 30-minute, 45-minute-ish mobility for hips workout. The movements in this video are pretty basic, nothing too fancy, but the basics are the most important part of your training regimen. That's why I want to show you what I did in the beginning of my yoga journey to open up my hips, to strengthen my hips and become more strong and flexible in those areas. This is perfect if this is your first mobility flow for the hips, or if you have never done yoga or anything like that before, this will work for you. And even if you are more advanced in mobility and yoga, it's nice to come back sometimes to the basics and work on the basics as well, even though you're also already a pretty advanced yogi. We don't need any equipment, so come onto your mat and we start in a sitting position. Let's go. So come to your mat, we start in cross-legged position. It doesn't matter which leg is forward, just keep your spine upright. And with the next exhale, lean forward over your legs. Go only so far that you can keep your back straight. And move around a little bit, explore the hips, explore how your hips feel today. So move from left to right, right to left. Stay at the spots where you can feel the stretch the most. Then find another spot, just to ease into this slow practice. And come back to the middle. And with the next inhale, you lift up and you switch your shins, so the other leg is forward, and we do the same on the other side. So lean forward, keep your back straight and move. So this is just straight mobility today. This is not a yoga flow. Just move from exercise to exercise. And this is perfect for your rest days, or if you want to work specifically on your hip mobility. Maybe pick a few exercises from this flow that you do every day. I recommend doing stuff like this really on a daily basis to ensure that you make progress. Come back to the middle, lift up, and from here we come into a 90-90 position, which means you bring your knee joints in the 90-degree angle, bring your feet further apart and pull your feet towards the knees. You can keep your hands behind your back for now. Lift up your chest and then push the knees away from each other. So your feet are active the entire time, and now you should feel a pretty nice stretch in your groin area. And we hold this for a moment. In this position, it's really, really important that you pay attention to your knees. So we don't want to twist our knee in any stupid kind of way. And also, we want to keep the spine upright. Keep pushing the knees apart. Keep breathing. And from here, we lower down the left knee. We keep the legs as they are. So we keep the 90-degree angle in the front leg. And now we bring down the right leg too. And we have a 90-degree angle right here and right here. You can keep the hands on the ground the entire time. Keep your feet active, pull the feet up and breathe here. You want to work your butt down towards the ground, so your right butt cheeks wants to touch the ground. It doesn't matter if you can reach the ground or not, but think about moving it down. And with the next inhale, you want to push your left knee more into the ground and your right knee lifts up. Really bring your knees far apart as far as possible. Pull the toes up. come back to the middle, bring the legs apart and switch sides. So we really want to open up the hips. So right leg in front, left leg in the back. Keep breathing here. So this is a really basic exercise for hip mobility, but this is one of my favorite moves to do because there's so many options we can work on our hip mobility in this position. So I will show you, just be patient. And we come back to the middle. Lift your rear leg up first and then the front leg. And if you want to, you can lift up your hands from the ground, bring the hands behind your back, keep your back upright, and then we switch sides again. Left leg forward, right leg back. So this becomes a lot more difficult when you bring the hands away from the ground, since we use a lot more strength in our core and our hip area. And next inhale, we lift the right knee up, come back to the middle, pull the toes up and switch sides. Keep upright spine the entire time. If you have to adjust your feet every time you switch sides, that's okay. But focus on the 90-degree angle in both legs. And now come back to the middle, switch sides. At your own pace, go slowly, bring awareness to this movement. Stay upright. Maybe turn your chest to the front leg more, work your right butt cheek more towards the ground. Inhale here and exhale. With the next inhale, lift up your right leg, come back to the middle and switch sides. So turn your chest to the right leg. Engage your core muscles the entire time, the entire practice. This is a key component of this movement or for mobility in general. And we come back to the middle. And now we switch it up a little bit, but we come first to the other side again. So left knee to the front, right knee down. And for the first round, bring both of your hands on the outside of your left leg. Keep your spine upright. And we want to lean over our left shin. Keep the back straight. And again, explore this position. So move from left to right. You can't do any wrong movements besides not activating your foot muscle. We want to pull the toes towards the knees the entire time. So explore this position, feel where the tight spots are. And lift up again. Bring the hands behind your head and switch sides. Right leg up first. Keep the left leg on the ground as long as possible, and when you can't keep it on the ground, then lift it up and go to the other side. Bring both hands to the ground and lean forward over your right leg. Explore the hips again. Straighten your back even more. And keep breathing. So this is a really slow-paced class today, which doesn't mean it isn't going to be difficult or not exhausting. This is quite challenging for most people. Also for me, some of these positions are really tough, but over time our bodies will get used to these movements. Or not, that's okay too, but as long as you feel these poses working for you, everything is fine. Come back to the middle, lift up, bring your hands behind the head and come back into the middle position. We go out of this 90-90 position for a couple seconds, shake out your legs, maybe even move your spine, twist in your spine, do whatever movement that feels good. We come back into this position in a few moments. And now bring your legs apart, pull the toes towards the knees and keep the 90-degree angles in your knee joints. Oh, there's a lot of little gravel stones around here. So keep the spine upright, hands behind the back, and we go to the left side again. So lower the left leg down, then the right leg. And this time we lean forward. Either you have a choice, like either you bring both hands to the ground again, or you leave your hands behind the back and try to lean forward again. Lean forward as low as you can, keep the back straight, and lift up. We do this 5 times. Lower, keep breathing, and lift. 3 more. Lower down. Be careful with your knees, lift up. 2 more times. Keep the back straight, lower down, lift up. And 1 more time, lower down. And we hold for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, engage your core. 3, 2, 1, and lift up again. And switch sides. Lift up right knee, left knee, and come to the other side. So again, either you bring both hands down to the ground, or bring the hands behind your head and lower your chest down. For 1, 2, 3, engage your core. 4, and 1 more. And 5, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift up again. Come back to the middle and check out your legs. So maybe when you move your legs now, you can feel your hips are opening up a little bit, maybe not. But ideally you feel a slight difference by now. And we come back into 90-90. So this is, I show you today a couple of options we can work on our hip mobility in this position. So keep it up, have fun with it, and even if it doesn't work for you right now, you can work your way towards it. Bring the hands behind your back, behind your head, and we lower down to the left side. Now we want to bring our left hand outside of the left leg and the right hand on top of the right knee. From here, really activate both feet, so pull the feet up towards the knees, and we want to lift up the right leg as far as possible, but at the same time we push the left knee down. So the right hand helps us with that, but the main strength comes from the muscles in our hip area. And really squeeze your butt cheeks so that you open up your hips even further. Keep breathing, really open up. Maybe it feels like you're getting a cramp. When that's the case, I guess you're doing it right. Keep the feet active and slowly lower down the right knee and lift it back up again. Stay on your right heel, lower down, 4 more times. Lift up, lower down, 3 more, 3, 2, and last one. Lift up, squeeze your butt cheeks, hold, keep the breath going. And release, lower down your right knee. Bring both hands behind your head again. And we switch sides. So lift up, come to the right side. Bring the right hand outside of the right knee, the left hand on top of the right knee. Activate both feet again, push the right knee into the ground and then lift up the left knee. And we stay here. Pull up the left toes, especially the left toes, so the muscles around your knee joint are activated and keeps the knee joint safe. So if you feel any pain in your knee joints, please back off. Don't go that far. So no pain, no gain doesn't work here. Keep breathing, maybe even push your legs further apart. Really squeeze your butt cheeks, keep the breath going, and slowly lower down. And we lift up for 5 times. 1, lower down. 2, 3, 4, and last one, 5. Hold, keep breathing, don't hold your breath, just hold the position and slowly lower down. Come back to the middle and shake out your legs one more time. I got one more variation for you. So right now we have worked on our external rotation. Now we are going to work on the internal rotation. So for that we come back into 90-90 position. So bring your legs in the right position, then the hands behind your head, and we lower down to the left. So from here, you bring your left hand to the ground, you lean forward as much as you need to. If you stay more upright, this becomes a lot more difficult, but if you lean forward and away from your right leg, this becomes a little bit easier. So lean as much forward as you need to, activate your feet, and we want to push the right knee into the ground and then lift up the right foot. Internal rotation in the hip. Hold here and slowly lower down 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I miscounted. We hold for one more. Hold up, keep breathing, and then lower down, and we switch sides. Come to the other side, lift up your right knee, then the left knee, keep your spine upright. Lean a little bit forward, bring your right hand down, and then activate your feet, push the left knee into the ground, and then lift up your left leg for 1, 2, 3, 4, we do 2 more, 5, and we hold. Hold it, keep breathing, straighten your spine, and then lower down. That's internal rotation for your hip. This may be more difficult than the external rotation. This is not a lot of movement usually, but it's still important to work on these positions. And now we come back into the middle and release. Shake out your legs one more time. And from here we come into a butterfly pose. So this is a really basic stretch for the hips. Keep your spine upright, bring the soles of your feet together and really push down the knees from your muscles in the groin area or in your hip area. You can do this movement right here, or just stay static. But really push out your chest, keep the spine upright, keep your shoulders relaxed. And then let go of the tension, just let the gravity do its work. So relax the muscles, maybe move around a little bit, you can even lean forward if you want to. And from here, shake out the legs one more time. And we come into a straddle seated position. So bring your legs as far apart as possible. Make sure your toes are pointing towards the sky or towards the ceiling. Keep your spine upright, and maybe you need to sit here for a while to let the hips open up. Just give the hips some time. Or if you feel more open, you can lean forward a little bit. But we want to work on our hip flexibility, not our spine. That's why we want to keep our spine upright. Keep your spine straight. And it really doesn't matter how much forward you can lean. As I said, as long as you feel the stretch, everything is fine. And from here, we want to move from side to side. You can grab one foot and then the other. Just move however you like. Again, explore this position and see what differences you can feel in your legs or in your hips. It's a lot of times there's a big difference between the left body side and the right side of the body. And think about more pushing your chest forward and down rather than bring your head down towards the ground. When we focus on bringing the head down to the ground, see what's happening in my back. The shoulders fall forward and our spine is in flexion. We want to extend our spine and keep the spine straight. So lift your head up and then move here. So explore the hips, pull the feet up. Again, maybe grab one foot, then the other. You don't have to. You can grab the shin, you can grab the back side of your upper thigh. Doesn't really matter. And from here, come back in the middle. Bring both hands in front of you. And we want to work more on leaning forward right now. So lean forward and bounce a little bit. Like just bounce up and down. Don't use a lot of strength to pull you forward, but use your core muscles to keep the back straight. I know I'm repeating myself over and over again, but I can't stress it enough that we want to do this position right, the right way. So it's the most effective for us, and we don't waste our time, essentially. In yin yoga, it's a different thing. Like there, we don't have to be perfectly aligned, but since we are working on mobility right now, we want to respect the integrity of our body and spine. And lift up. Slowly bring your legs together. Shake out the legs. And from here we come onto our stomachs for a variation of the Sphinx pose. So for this variation, first you bring both arms underneath, so both elbows underneath your shoulders. Spread the fingers and engage your glutes. And now you bring your right leg on the inside of the left leg, or even maybe a little bit higher, and then push your hips towards the ground. So it's like a combination of a tree pose and a sphinx pose. So this is a really great hip opener. And yeah, just feel this movement, this position. Press the man, I'm sorry today, my English is messed up right now. I don't know why. Press the top of your feet, of your left foot, into the ground. So your left knee lifts up a little bit from the ground. Your butt cheeks are engaged, and you keep breathing. You can even look over one shoulder and then the other to get a little bit of a twist in the spine. And depending if you need more in this position, you can either straighten your arms or walk forward with your arms a little bit to make the position less intense. Just find a variation that works for you. And we switch sides, so lower down the chest, straighten the right leg, maybe shake out your hips from side to side, and then switch sides, bend the left leg, tree pose, and then come into a sphinx pose. Push the top of your right foot into the ground, engage the glutes, and push your hips towards the ground. And again, move around here, whatever feels good. And if you want more, straighten the arms, or don't. Make this practice your own. Two more deep breaths. And then release, straighten your left leg, shake out the hips. And come into a seated position again, cross-legged seat. And from here, with the next inhale, reach both arms up. And with the exhale, you bring your right hand on top of your left knee and twist to the left side. Bring your left hand behind you, look over the left shoulder and twist. So this is a little bit of a counter movement for the spine. Even though this is a hip mobility routine, our spine had to do a lot of work too. So show your spine some love and neutralize the feeling, the sensation in your spine. Inhale, come back to the middle. Inhale again, bring both hands above your head. Exhale, twist to the right side, look over your right shoulder. Bring the left hand on top of your right knee. And come back to the middle with the next inhale. And for one last time, lean forward over both of your legs and just explore the feeling in your hips. So today was a really basic hip mobility routine. There's so much more stuff you can do, but I think the basics are the most important part of every routine, of every workout regimen. So if you really want to make progress, that's where you want to go. And then lift up, switch sides one more time. So we switch sides, my camera cut off, so we do this one more time. I hope I don't repeat myself. So just move around, explore the hips again, and see what difference you can feel from the start of this class to right now. Maybe it's a big difference, maybe there's no difference at all. That's also totally fine. But the most important part is to keep practicing, showing up, and investing time into your body and your mind. And we come back to the middle. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you share this video, like this video, subscribe to my channel. All of this stuff, I have more videos like this, beginner videos, flows, meditations, guided breath work, all of this stuff. There's more stuff coming out every week. And don't miss a video by clicking the bell somewhere down here. I will link you my playlist for mobility work somewhere up here. And thank you for joining me in my practice. I hope to see you next time. Peace.